So who? Well, we'll talk about it.
Oh, we'll talk about it.
Right.
He's back.
Stamina mode.
He's fucking back. We're in stamina mode. We're already down to 2 bars.
We're in stamina mode, all right.
I'm fucking right back. Alex is here. She's making granola. She's making food. There's nothing stopping me. This is an
dance. Is that? I thought you had Mace
person podcast.
Look at this. This is
Get
huge,
fucked.
dude. This is huge.
This is
a
huge.
fucking power cable for the Zoom.
Cable it up. Tune it up. Cable it up.
Batteries no more.
Listen,
Stamina mode's over.
Welcome to Impossible Way of Life. We're fucking back. The boys are back in town. Fuck, see, that's the thing with Zoom that's good, though. Not analog Zoom, the preamp thing we use to record.
Which, weirdly, the only 2 ways we do this podcast are both Zoom.
Zoom, 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 baby. Yeah. That's what I've always said.
Zoom. Yeah.
Zoom, zoom. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Zoom, zoom.
Zoom, zoom.
Honestly, when it comes down to it. You know, they often use...
That's the way I live my life, in the fast lane.
I live my life like there's no tomorrow.
Exactly.
Dude, I'm so back in the New York groove.
Yeah. I listened to that on my way from the airport
to... Shout out to New York today. Tough times in New York today. People getting shot and shit.
Oh, no. I thought you meant because Gilbert Gottfried died.
Well, no, but that's another... I mean, that speaks to your
seems like
kind
a
of
New York
thespianism.
He seems like a New York kind of guy.
Listen, I want you to know anything can happen in a New York minute.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah.
Shout out, business acumen 10.
City that never sleeps.
Listen, 9 a.m. on a New York subway, slap-a-gangin'.
Can I say, I don't want to sound like...
whatever you like.
I don't want to sound like
your house,
kind
your
of a
rules.
Canadian tourist, but New York subway energy at the moment, little dicey.
Well, you obviously haven't read the news today.
Somebody got killed down there?
A guy. So, John, this isn't a bit. Johnny clearly doesn't know what's happened today.
I haven't read the
news
news
today. Which also, honestly, if you haven't read the news today, good for you for not reading the news.
Well, I was in the studio.
Well, listen, this is
thinking about myself
on record.
Yeah,
you are like one of those guys who doesn't read the news, which I always wish I was. No, like there was like a Joker style subway shooting today on the New York subway.
Oh my god!
Some guy like in a gas mask like smoked out a whole subway cart and open fired.
Oh,
and
Jesus.
luckily everyone survived so far. They don't know where this guy is. And anyway, this isn't music.
No,
you know what I mean?
But
yeah,
you know, when I went,
been a lot of talk
Andy
about
and I
crime is going up.
There was I'm not going to tell the stories, but there were a couple of kind of incidents, and a lot of people like lighting up cigarettes on the train. And Andy was just like, "There's a lot of weird energy down here these days."
Yeah, kind of more of an '80s vibe.
Yeah, kind of
more
Warriors
style. Yeah, that's true.
But no, I don't often read the news because I get the news I need on the weather report.
That's nice too. Yeah. That's so true.
Such a like Paul Simon type lyric. He's like me essentially. It's like not a care in the world.
Well, I don't have to care about anything.
Yeah, I'm Paul Simon.
I'm a Jewish white man in New York. I'm doing absolutely fine.
Millionaire.
Yeah. Before I even started playing music, it's absolutely fine.
Yeah. I got nothing to do today but smile. Oh my god!
Absolutely.
The only living boy in New York. There you go.
Well, that's what they say.
Yeah. That's
you know, there's a book called Sylvia by Leonard Michaels. I don't know if you've ever read it. It's my favorite book about New York. Actually, that's not true. There's a million, but it's a notable one because a lot of people haven't read it. So so let me just put on my velvet blazer.
Yeah,
no, it's great because I really like that the period of North America and particularly American. Historical culture is like the mid 70s when like all of the stuff that we're talking about, the kind of hope, the hippie hope and like dreams is all faded. Jimmy died, Janice died, Jim died. We'll rank him today.
Yeah.
And all that's left is the Vietnam War, and you start getting like the Deer Hunter, Apocalypse Now, you get some good stuff, but everyone who not Hamburger Hill, like
sure.
just in Brooklyn. Well, not even Brooklyn yet. They're still in Manhattan, you know. Or like the drugs aren't getting mellower, and they've just still been doing them since. And like that's why the electric Kool-Aid acid test's great too. It's a bit earlier.
It's when you get into that kind of Jacob's Ladder energy.
Yeah, or Requiem for a Dream or something.
Jacob's Ladder, that's like post-Vietnam kind of like psycho experimentation.
Yeah, that's what you're going to end up doing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Well, there's nothing left to do.
You're walking through the subway tunnels, seeing demons crawling up the wall, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's
right?
that kind of vibe for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a book, Sylvia's beautiful because it's a really short book and it's a sort of a vignette and it's about Leonard Michaels. It's autobiographical about his partner that he met, this girl Sylvia, in New York in the mid-'70s. So it's pre-punk, post-Greenwich. So he's just kind of in there, and he's been at university somewhere else. I can't remember where. And he comes back, and he finds himself in this world where he's like all the people that he used to know only a few years ago. A good analogous situation would be like Andrew McCarthy's character in Less Than Zero, in the 80s, where he's like he goes back to LA, and Robert Downey Jr. and Jamie Gertz are like smackheads.
I know you and Luke have been heavy on
Jamie,
Jamie Gertz and like the kind of John Hughes, Robert Downey Jr. kind of scene.
Yeah, I mean it's one of my favorite scenes of all time.
Yeah,
but Sylvia has a similar
I put my
energy.
phone down the other night for about 10 minutes.
It was boring.
Came back, it was like 108.
Yeah, we were kind of feeling ourselves on Spader. Films.
Well, I mean,
listen,
I like Spader a lot, but
he pimps out Downey Jr. in Less Than Zero.
I've never seen that movie.
It's a great movie because they're like, it's based on well, I'll finish the Sylvia thing first.
Okay.
I'm really fired up.
Yeah, I know.
But it's great because he goes back to New York and everyone's just kind of paranoid.
Yes.
They're a bit paranoid. It's kind of like what you're talking about, a little bit paranoid.
I experienced it a bit.
Yeah.
And Andy was just saying that, like, you know, again, we're a music podcast. But you know, a lot
Arts
of people,
and culture,
a lot
kind
of
a left,
a lot of people.
Style
the pandemic,
podcast.
you know, obviously took them down to a worse place than they were.
Of course,
and a lot of people wound up on the street.
Yeah,
even.
you don't got Giuliani to clean it up anymore.
No, a lot of people wound up on the street, and you know they're not really living their best life. And there's definitely some kind of energy.
Yeah,
there's some edgy.
There's new drugs too.
So yeah.
But anyway, so like he goes back and he's like, it's the mid-'70s in New York and less written about kind of few years. You know, Patti Smith's not really kind of vibing out yet. Well, she's not as famous. Richard Hell's probably around, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, like, it's Desire. I guess, like, you know, Desire's happening.
It's kind of mid-'75.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's a great book. Leonard Michaels, Sylvia. Beautiful. It'll make you cry. It's about.
I'd love to read it.
It's about an early relationship. A man in his later years, he must have been at least in his 60s when he wrote it. Just writing this vignette about this very serious relationship he had when he was in his early 20s with this woman with this femme fatale, Sylvia, and how it was toxic, but it was brilliant, and that's everything.
I need to read this. I love it.
You know,
sounds
that
great.
kind of world should be.
I'm almost finished Eden Express, so.
Vonnegut's son.
Loving it.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of local lore.
Similar kind of, a complete flip side energy, but same
flip
era
mode,
kind of.
like Busta
where
Rhymes,
it's like
Flip Mode Squad.
West Coast, what was going on.
West Coast Baby.
Yeah.
Powell River.
Great stuff.
Yeah, it's really cool.
He's just kind of starting to kind of crack up a bit. It's good.
The Power Broker, I'm reading right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but that's something different. But I'm still in New York frame of mind, you know what I mean?
Well, speaking of, you know, to pivot from New York to LA, you were talking about my young bride and I are
stoked for
we're
you,
heading down. You know, because it's I was out on tour and doing stuff, but you know we haven't had just a sort of a couple's getaway for a while.
So we're gonna do like
quite frankly, she wants to know
shit?
what's going on down there, and because you know there's quite a bit going on.
Well, when I got here, Alex was playing what sounded like Taper's Choice.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I walked in, it sounded like that too. I was like, what is this kind of jam band music you're listening to? And she said, I'm just getting pumped up for the 420 concert.
Yeah.
Which we're going to. And I texted Austin McCutcheon just now.
I've heard of him.
And I said, singer and guitarist in the Grateful Shred. And I said, I'm thinking you and Bleecker post-show.
Right.
Like kind of wrap up. Like, how did it go? Eyewall exclusive.
Okay.
So I'm trying to work this out. I think it might even be like maybe our first filmed
I'd love
content.
that.
Like kind of do like
I'm really tempted to come. How much does it cost for me? Do I have to get a test and shit?
I think you have to get a test, but
I can't just go and cough at them or something.
I think you need a test, but maybe it'll change by then. Look it up. I think you need a test still.
Fucking.
But anyway, if you come, it'd be amazing.
Biden's America, frankly.
Well, buddy, I'm trying to pivot away from politics here, but. But
wait till I start talking about Julian Lennon doing a cover of Imagine.
Oh,
buddy.
well, we have to talk about that. But anyway, so I'm thinking, like on Instagram, there's like that like Instagram Live.
Yeah, I actually don't use Instagram. I don't know what is that. I actually am more into like Sylvia by Lennon Michaels. Is it like
Instagram
a book?
is this place where people go to
hit rock
spy
bottom
on each other.
Yeah, 100%. Anyway, Instagram Live, know it well.
Yeah, I've never used it, but I think this could be an example. Nice. Maybe I could go backstage at the Shred concert.
100%.
And get like Dan Horn, Austin, Bleecker, some like live kind of scoops.
I think you're going to need to take a film crew down there.
Well, I got one. Yeah. Alex is a professional filmographer.
Well, then what are you doing? You know what I want to see it like, Alex? You know what I want it to look like a one-car Y movie. I want kind of like 90s style convex, like fisheye lens shit. Like make it real kind of like West Coast 90s vibe. I mean, one car Y being like obviously not West Coast, but like I'm thinking like, okay, we'll kind of transfer it over. It probably like a Sublime video was filmed like that, or certainly like some like Baz Luhrmann, Romeo and Juliet,
Spike
style
Jones,
stuff.
Beastie Boys kind of stuff.
Definitely like, that, but that's a little bit like the colors aren't saturated.
It's more
enough.
Skate video vibe.
Skate meets
but you're looking for that
West Coast psych.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm looking for that.
Okay. Well,
I don't know if you can you might have to get something from Amazon.
This all down right now.
100%.
And
you know what happened to me when I was coming over here?
What?
I was in the car, right?
Yeah.
And the radio, two things happened. One, I realized you have a Pentecostal church right at the corner of your street. Kind of the bluesiest church. Take it to church. I didn't even think there was Pentecostal churches in this country. I thought they were like... They had a different name here and shit. Or maybe it's the other way around, and in America they're called Episcopalian or something.
You're asking the wrong guy.
Isn't it like Baptist shit?
Pentecostal, I don't really
Anyways,
know
bluesy, I think. Okay. It's Southern.
They sing a lot.
I don't know do they? Because they're Protestant. But they sing a lot. They sing a lot.
There you
go.
That is
church.
Bluesy. That's
probably
cool.
got some great tambourines.
I'll go in.
They've probably
I
got
might
some
start
great
going.
tambourines. Be careful. They get you. When you're down, they'll get you. That's what they do.
I'm an easy target.
Yeah, me too.
For religion.
Yeah.
I've often thought, like, if I wandered into one of those places...
You got to be careful.
I could just... That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
Because, like, I just want something to believe in. You know what I mean?
100%.
I'm just looking for something to believe in.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't stop believing.
Yeah, I won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't. No problem there.
No.
That's why it's not your favorite
I won't.
song.
If I start, I won't stop.
No,
that's the thing. You know what I mean?
So, yeah, that happened. I realized you had a bluesy church on the corner.
Yeah.
Someone let us know there is some. I'm confused. You know what? Our American listeners might be like, we have no idea what a Pentecostal church is. It might be that.
No, because I know that Paul Simon song.
Isn't it also?
And she told me all about the Pentecost.
Yeah, it's in the Wayne's World too.
Yeah,
it's like there's two.
They know what it is.
But then maybe I thought we in Canada didn't have them, and we had Episcopalian churches, but it turns out that there's one. It might not be there when I leave. I don't know if it was always there.
No, Alex, it was always there, right?
Well, maybe, but it could be a Chinese thing in this neighborhood. It could be like it came through China, like it went like England, like Germany
that
to China.
Could be.
Yeah, it's complicated. Second thing that happened,
the peak.
Yeah. So I was listening. I was listening.
Can I just explain the peak for everyone listening? 100%. Is a local Vancouver rock station.
I want to plug this thing. Do you think if I plug in this thing,
modern rock?
I'm gonna plug it
peak.
in. Hang on.
It's 4:00. Do you know where your rock is? The peak, playing what we want when we want. It's time for rock and roll brunch the peak.
I just plugged in the thing, and this is the first time we've ever managed to plug this Zoom in, and it seems like it's working better than ever because there's no battery sign.
Oh, thank God you didn't just fry it right
Well,
now
it could have. I don't know what I did, but it's looking good. So I was listening to the peak when I was coming up here, and there was this weird bit where it was like, the peak, it was kind of that style, like you're listening to the peak, classic rock.
Isn't it modern rock?
Modern rock, modern rock. And it said, but it was this guy doing that voice. He was like, what are you thankful for? It's time to give thanks. Be thankful for the music you love. And then they played like a bit of like All the Small Things by Blink-182. And then it was kind of like...
Isn't it like, isn't it Easter, not Thanksgiving?
Well, it's not any of these things. I don't know why it was like... But it kind of had an aggressive tone. Like, it was like, what are you thankful? Like, as if I'm not thankful
what do you
for anything?
even believe in?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you nihilist.
Yeah. Why don't you take a stand
and listen?
And love the music that you listen to
Well, also,
more.
what they do really well on that... is they kind of have this like kind of 3-tiered system where it's like the music you love, and it's like and it's Blink-182. The music you discover, and it'll be like a new song, Johnny Payne, and it'll be like the music that was always there, and it'll be like Joy Division. Yeah, that's how they do it, kind of. So they're kind of like edging towards being a classic rock station.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because eventually they'll be like, the music you love and the music you discover makes no money for us. So we're just going to play Don't Stop Believing every day.
Exactly.
Because we know that's what you really want.
Because it's free.
Because it's public domain now. Because it came out so fucking long ago.
Exactly.
We don't have to pay for it.
It was so long ago. Yeah, it was a long time ago. Anyway, I'm having a great time doing this in person right now. I'm going to go through my notes here. I've been making notes when I was in my delirium. Oh, here's a note that I made. It's kind of jam band adjacent.
Okay.
It says, the note says that jam band music.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I remember coming up with this in my Proustian sort of. It was a
tell
Proustian
me again
vision.
Because I'll get it in my head so I want to pose this question.
Yeah.
Well, now they're going to be listening. Well, not Bleecker because he only listens to the one he's on. But
dude, he's never listened to anything except himself.
Austin will probably be listening. So Austin, quite frankly, he'll have a good answer prepared for this.
Yeah.
And Bleeker's going to look like a deer in the headlights when I ask him this. So go ahead. What's the question?
It obviously has come from somewhere, You know, we're all kind
jam
of
band
like,
music.
Well, just kind of like, I guess. We're all kind of. There's so many words, right? Like, and I'm kind of getting you into that fever dream that I was in.
Right.
That's such like I think that Johnny Marr's new album's called that. You know how did
Fever Dream?
Fucking Fever Dream. Like how did they come up with this shit? Like it's like there's not many. What's like Jack White's new record's called something like Dead Man Rising. Like, like it's like some shit like that. They're just like, and can you imagine? It's Spinal Tap. Like, I'm thinking I'm gonna call this record Fever Dream. I was like, oh yeah, it was relevant COVID. COVID fever. Yeah, it's like, but it also fucking just like. It's like the music gives you a fever, man. Right. You know what I mean? It's like fucking real. That's because it's so good.
So
it's
intense. Yeah, it's so intense.
But it's also...
And Jack White's more like, in his mind, like maybe he hasn't put out an album in 2 years and he knows everyone's really like pissed.
Yeah.
So he's like, Dead Man Rising, like I'm back.
It's something. I don't think it's called that, but it's called something stupid. Like it's probably called that. Like it may as well be called that. Dead Man Rising.
Meanwhile, Julian Lennon's
let me look up what it's called.
The real work.
Let me look up what Jack White's new record's called. He's on the fucking charm offensive right now, talking about.
Well, we know he's a Beatles guy. Clearly.
He's not a Stones guy.
Well, no, because we know he does that 1 second Beatles thing, and he refuses to take me on.
Well, and that's something and he's got blue hair because he's none more blues. He's got blue hair, and he just got married on stage to like a kind of lesser than Meg, which was really weird, I thought too. It's a weird scene that, just in general, that kind of like rockabilly burlesque, Betty Page bangs kind of scene. And like if you kind of are in it, I guess there's no way out. Like he's just
didn't know it was still. I remember it being pretty big, back about 15 years ago, but I guess it's still going.
I mean, those kind of girls, and he's one of those kind of guys. Like those kind of girls were always around when I was growing up.
That's what I mean. I remember that.
Well, this girl, presumably, because she's a lot younger than him, is like modeled herself on like Betty Page through Meg White, which makes it kind of confusing because
this might have been like a lifelong kind of crusade for her to
you'd
snare Jack White as a husband.
I mean,
is that what you're driving at?
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of that guy after what he did to the Von Bondi's singer.
He seems like he's got a bit of a temper.
He used to go to church too. He said it's these blues guys, man. Like it's unbelievable. He's like I was reading. I mean, because obviously I get like kind of caught up in this stuff, because of the podcast, because of Impossible Way of Life. I was reading a thing in the Guardian just a couple of days ago where he was saying like I thought until the age of 18 I thought I was just going to be a priest, but then I like played the piano. And it's just like he thinks he's like blind Willie McTell or something.
Or
like,
Al Green or something.
Yeah, like he's like literally like he thinks that he's like, I got brought up like, he's like.
Or he's like just mastered the blues narrative.
Yeah, well, I think that's
which is just like every great bluesman has to have one foot in the church and one foot like on the porch or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and he has like. I mean, famously, and Luke, we want to get him on to talk about this too, because we were talking about like kind of famously like pinned a dagger to Dan Auerbach's door when they were both living in Nashville. Said there's not enough room in this town for two white bluesmen. There's only room for one, which is that kind of weird energy. He obviously didn't say that specifically, but it's that weird energy. The sort of like, I suppose it's just like. The condo developer who buys an artist's name and thinks he has a right to use it. The kind of Clapton energy, being like, oh, well, no, I mean, no one else is allowed to call their restaurant Picasso's because I did it first.
Well, I got news for Jack White. He might think that his genre is blues, but let me tell you, it's straight clown.
It is clown. Whether he knows it or not.
Whether he knows it or not.
Well, he's got blue hair.
Yeah, he's now become complete clown. I mean, he was always clown to me.
I suspected he was always clown.
But and no disrespect to clown, as I've often said, I'm in the clown genre.
In clown.
And so are you.
I'm
and
clown.
but like Hot
Clown
Hot Heat,
hip-hop.
clown. And always thought like White Stripes, pretty clown. Hives, clown.
Well, the Hives are unrepentantly clown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but I think at least they owned it.
White
Stripes.
Clown.
Yeah, White Stripes is like I think he thought he was like Beatles blues.
Well, that's why he's got his chips in.
Yeah.
All chips in on McCartney.
Right.
He's like the only thing he said in this interview, Beatles, first of all, that the Stones were only ever ripping off the Beatles.
What the hell? Why does this argument matter? Like what? Why is he like?
It sells his dead bones.
Oh, he's doing like a Dave Grohl thing. Maybe he's trying to get in with.
Well, he's probably pissed at Dave Grohl because there's only room for one white.
But Jack White,
classic rock.
He's
guy.
the only other guy who could potentially
take it.
Be like a B2 level.
Yeah, B2 level. So he's trying to get in.
So he's kind of like, I'll just go public about how good the Beatles are, because that'll
also super important.
Yeah, that'll make them take notice of me, Paul.
Yeah,
he'll be like, well, watch, it'll come out. Paul's like, I got to work with this guy.
We probably has worked with him already.
You think? I don't know.
Let's look up his new album. It's called. What's it called? Let's look it up. It's Fear of the Dawn. It is. I mean, it's basically Dead Man's Rising. It's called Fear of the Dawn.
What a joke.
There's a review here. We got a review. Fear of the Dawn crackles with energy. This is why I like Hemingway so much. Don't need to say anything more. Dude, look at this. You'll like this. The first single, Taking Me Back, features a Cab Calloway sample.
Oh man.
It's we got songs called Into the Twilight, Morning, Noon and Night, in which White begs for a little more time.
What's with all these like twilight, morning, noon, night, dawn? Is this all he's talking about now?
It's blues, man.
No, it's a concept album about like time in the day. As the album starts at dawn.
Oh,
and it ends at twilight. You know, that kind of thing.
I thought I'd end up running an upholstery shop. Jack White on White Stripes, bar brawls and fame. I got to start reading. I bet he's not. I bet Tucker's not doing anything on him. I should just switch papers here. This stuff's amazing.
Forget Dave Grohl, man. I think Jack White's our real next target. This guy's asking for it.
This guy looks like he shops at Target, frankly, looking at the clothes he's wearing. I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
He's also, it's really funny. Oh, dude, listen. Oh, my God.
What?
Listen to this. I guess he's answered, if we wanted to rank him, he's answered his own here. Never want to dawdle. He professes an amazement at his career, but insists he only follows his instincts and not business acumen.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think that is 100% bullshit. We should rank Jack White right now.
Really?
I want to rank him.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay, sure. I mean, I'm running out. Okay, for everyone
listening. I got
listening,
this motherfucker in my scopes right now, okay? Let's do it. I'm going to be on. You know I always rank fairly and honestly.
Well, I know that.
I'm not biased about this.
Okay, let's do it. It's funny, you know, because I'm running out of paid. I'm running out. If you knew, I'll have one. If you knew, listening, if I'm doing it. I've been suggesting I'm going to do this for a while. If you only knew how this is the same piece of paper that I've been running.
You got to get that on a Google Sheets.
Okay, this is the same piece. Anyway, yeah, we can rank him. Hey, what about, I heard this stuff, you're going to LA, you need to sort of make sure people understand this is the eye-wall method of ranking, because apparently in LA, this stuff's been going down. Campfire to campfire, party to party.
From what I've heard, that everyone who does it gives credit where credit is due.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to, patent it or anything.
No, I think it's for the people.
Because we're losing Patreons every day. It's like people think that this is all we've got. We've got more to come.
Are we really? Sons of bitches.
Yeah, these LA school.
They're saying,
hey, listen, I got my own ranking system.
Presumably, they've started their own podcast, too.
Well, I'm assuming that these guys sat around in Zebulon or wherever they are, sat there saying, listen, this kind of stuff can certainly not coming out of the true North. The true North, strong and deadly.
Wow.
They're saying this is some campfire.
I'm going to, let me just say this.
Yeah.
You might be right, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
I might be crazy. But it just might be a lunatic you're looking for.
Right. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I think that they're probably spreading the gospel about our podcast.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go down and look into it.
Well, that's why you're going down there.
That's why I'm going down. I'm going to look into it.
Yeah.
So
go and look into it. Take a second. In fact, take a whole minute. Jack White. Hangability.
2.
Oh, come on. That's
what?
not fair.
You want to hang with him? He's so intense. He's such an egomaniac. It's like worse than Paul, ego vibe.
Ego's high.
Like, Paul was way more... compared to Jack White, Paul's like a chill as fuck. Jack White's going to preach to you about why certain bands are the best, how to build a guitar.
We could talk about out of a tree stump.
Yeah, 3. Sure. Dude.
Can you imagine how much, like, you'd... Imagine you're hanging out with Jack White. You're like where, I don't know, maybe you're in... I wouldn't want to be in Detroit with him.
No.
You know, he's the kind of guy who opens a record store in like a really expensive record store in like a neighborhood. Like it can be in like Akron, Detroit, doesn't matter where it is. And people are like, dude, like we used to live in this house and you turned it into a record store. And he's like, you fucking talking about motherfuckers. I fucking went to church here as a 6-year-old.
I'm saving your house. I'm turning it into something worth.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Worth entering.
Yeah. What has Detroit got?
Before it was just
There's
a
never
house.
been any music to come from Detroit before
it was just
this.
a house where you live. Now it's a fucking institution.
You know what we're going to call it? We're going to call it fucking Hitsville, USA.
Exactly.
Because Detroit's had nothing.
Yep.
You know what else? He probably wouldn't even talk to you unless you were recording it to vinyl. I wonder if he listens to people talk or whether it needs to go to vinyl first.
You know, I saw in the, like, I don't think he's ever drank a beer. No, maybe
really?
He's drank no, I saw in this one of these interviews say he's never, like, done a drug before or something.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know what it is.
You learn weird stuff about really famous people.
Hangability is
low.
Fucking low, dude.
Yeah. He he's only interested in one specific style of woman, which is always like a really, really big red flag. Like he's only going to go for the Pompadour Betty Page like style. Like, okay, she has to have cherry tattoos or something.
I just think he'd scare the shit out of me to be in a room.
Well, he's also tough as fuck, too.
Well, I don't even mean that. I just mean his energy would be, like, frightening. Like, he's going to just lose it.
I'd like to see him and Grohl in a room together.
Grohl hangability, like,
higher.
Way higher.
I've hung with him one time.
Yeah. But I know it was...
Well, it wasn't weird. It was only weird because he's so famous.
I'd way rather hang with Grohl than Jack White, no doubt.
Technical
ability. You mean? We changed it.
Technical ability.
Yeah, it's not technique anymore.
No,
that's
okay. Well, it still is on the old.
On the old.
This is going to be worth something. You know, Maradona's Hand of God soccer shirt sold for $4 million this week. This is gonna this is like the Turin shroud that I'm writing on right here. I can't change this stuff. If I change it, there's There's some look at this raspberry juice on the other side of this thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Technical ability, I don't know, he's pretty good, I guess.
5.
He's all right.
6?
Yeah, 5.
6. But he would probably say like, I've got none. I'm all instinct. I'm raw.
Yeah, 5. Sure.
5 just to fuck him?
I don't think he's got much of either, personally. Natural ability's pretty good.
Stage presence pretty high.
Stage presence? Yeah, I think he's pretty good.
Yeah,
there.
I've seen him actually. White Stripes were wicked.
Really?
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
7.
Oh my god, I saw the White Stripes play at the Roadhouse in Manchester. It's fucking everyone. You know, it's one of those shows, and this is how you know he's good because there was one of those shows where like everyone pretended they went. They played at the Pick Pub here, right? And when I moved to Vancouver, because these bands broke in England first. Famously, the Strokes and the White Stripes. I don't know about any of the other ones, but like the Strokes and the White Stripes were famous a year prior in England to here.
Yeah.
They were massive. John Peel liked the White Stripes. So when I moved to Vancouver, they'd just played at the Pick Pub. You know, that's like 200 people, right? It's not even there anymore. So it was one of those things. Everyone was like, I was at the show. No one was at the show. I'm going to say going on like peak performance style, it's got to be like an 8.
No way it's higher than 7.
Really?
If James Brown is 10,
yeah,
there's no way he can be higher than 7 in my mind.
7 it is.
Yeah.
Macca gets an 8.
Yeah, 100%. Paul McCartney?
Okay, yeah,
stage presence?
He's even with Bob gets an 8. That seems weird, actually.
Guy can command a whole fucking arena with an acoustic guitar.
No one's paying attention when you're at those shows. I've been. You've been. No one's paying attention. He's not commanding anyone. You just know it's Bob Dylan.
Well, maybe not in the early days.
We were talking about 65 Dylan, weren't we?
I don't know.
Play it fucking loud, Dylan.
7's good.
7 feels fine. Yeah, no, you're right. Natural ability. He's a bluesman.
I mean, I guess he's a talented guy if you like that sort of thing. Give him a 6 or 7.
5.
6. Sure.
We're being really
He likes music.
Being gentle with him
We're being a little too nice, but now we're getting into the good stuff.
Sex appeal.
No, he's not.
He's never even run on that.
He looks like a bit of a kind of
goblin.
Yeah, he's always like he's very pale.
He's angry.
He's angry too. Yeah. Alex, 4.
I always thought Meg was hot.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah, she was way cooler. I also like that she just like pieced out because she
does look like a goblin. You're right. That's a good word for it.
Yeah.
4.
Big naturals too, Meg.
3 or 4.
Just because Van Morrison has, Van Morrison's bringing up the rear with
he's
3.
sexier than Jack White to me. So 2.
No,
3. Tied.
Okay, hang on. Let's check how tall Jack White is. I feel like it's about that.
He's big.
You
big
think
guy.
so?
Yeah. I bet she's like 6'3".
Fuck off 6'3". He's not like
more than Van Morrison.
He's not fucking
Jack
6'3". Yeah, he's not 6'3".
I like Van
What?
Morrison.
Oh, he's. How do you know he's tall?
Because I can tell.
He's 6'1".
6'1".
He's basically my height and weight.
Too.
I'll take him. Now I know that, I feel good.
We could take him, the two of us.
He's 185.
Sure.
You don't weigh. I'm 185. You're like
160.
Yeah, exactly. I'm 185, so I can listen. If we ever get into a tussle with Jack,
yeah,
I'll fucking stab him. Yeah, I got my fucking Manchester fucking.
The two of us could take him for sure.
Definitely. That's probably what I'll ask you to do. Actually, if that happens, based on what he did to the guy from the Von Bondies, he really fucked that guy up.
Yeah.
Okay, well, like 4 then. Sex
yeah,
appeal.
4.
Legacy. It's really hard to rank third wave guys.
Well, sorry. We'll have to re-rank when he's old and gray.
There's no legacy aspect. I guess like
kind of is. I mean,
2000. Yeah, it's just
low.
It's a new style of legacy. He's like trying to do the blues reset. He like brought back guitars. Guitars were so bloated in the 90s, and he was like, "No, man, it's about like the sonics and shit."
No here or there at this point, so I'm gonna say 5, right in the middle, because it's hard to judge it.
Fashion really low,
super
like
low.
As low as
1.
possible. 1
looks
the
horrible.
worst style.
Hate his style. His clothes don't fit well.
No.
They look horrible. He looks terrible.
He looks exactly like what he is, which is like a guy who dates burlesque kind of like
it's kind
roller
of like
skating
rockabilly meets kind of like clown vampire.
It's also just like embarrassing to think that anyone at that age is like kind of into ska. Like he almost has like a ska vibe. Yeah. It's just like it's that just is not
all over the place.
It's just not cool. What's he got blue hair for?
I don't know. It's a 1.
Innovation. In the face of bloated prog. But it's just blues.
90 coming out of the 90s, like
not bloated.
Part of that
Britpop,
part of that sort of strokes,
Wallflowers,
like
and early on with it too.
Yeah, it was. I'd say he's got some score here for sure because it was like coming out of like the big grunge rock sound.
Actually, you know what? With his legacy, 5's a really fair score because he did it at first and. Basically everything since like Elephant has been shite. Like he put out those couple of weird records. The third one with Meg, White Blood Cells. Then they did Seven Nation Army, and then like since then he's just made bad. It's kind of like Dave Grohl. Like he's just made bad corporate rock. Like that's all he's really done. He's not done 100%. Anything.
No, but that's why I said 5. I'll have to judge it. But
yeah, innovation.
Honestly, innovation. I don't like his music, but I will say that I have respect for the Julian Casablancas, Jack White, people of that time who rebelled against kind of a big new modern sound to like do like a retro punk thing.
Me too, yeah, me
so
too.
I'd honestly give him like a 6.
I like, his like kind of campaign for the analog kind of domain. That's kind of your vibe.
It's gotten annoying, but which is why it's a 6.
Business acumen. Yeah, I think it's pretty high.
Really high.
Yeah.
He'd say low.
He'd say
but
low,
that's
but
why
high.
we're going to say high.
Yeah.
Honestly, to me, probably like an 8.
7.
7, okay.
Endurance. He's just made garbage for 20 years.
And he seems really like kind of lazy too to me a bit. Like he's not like a hard working rock and roller to me that much.
If he was,
imagine if he heard me say that, he'd beat the shit out of me.
Well, it's all right because I could go in a ring with him. I'm literally the same size and height. Like he might have those Detroit fists, but I've got these Manchester ones.
I think you're a teddy bear. I think he hates.
He does. He's
got a lot of hate.
He does.
Him.
Yeah.
He just like straight up want to kill you.
I know, and he would. I know. Yeah, I'm aware of that. But luckily, this podcast's not big enough yet that he should care.
Once it gets, we're gonna be in a lot of trouble.
I'm ready to go. I mean, like literally.
But you say we're dropping patrons like flies, so
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's honestly, I blame that on them, frankly.
Yeah, me too.
Because the show must go on.
100%, man.
It doesn't end. This isn't like a fashion thing.
No.
You know what I mean? It doesn't like stop and
You know what else? Maybe some people are kind of going through some tough times.
100%.
They need the money.
They're kind of on the subway.
Maybe they're coming back.
Maybe that guy in
New
York
back.
was
I'm
going
to give them some credit. Maybe they'll come back.
They found his credit card on site. We could
If you guys need that $5 right now, I respect that.
Also, there's nothing keeping people like on our Patreon because once they get the code, here's a little hot tip for you guys. If you subscribe to our Patreon, one time you get a code that you'll never not get again, and it will never change. And if you get it once, you'll have it forever, and that will forever.
Yeah, you know what else I have forever?
Yeah.
The guilt.
The guilt, exactly.
Of using the code without paying.
Yeah.
And you'll have to live with that for the rest of your days.
Give me the codes.
Morpheus.
It's kind of a similar vibe. Give me the codes.
It's the smell.
Well, it'll only cost you $5.
Saturated.
Give me the codes. It's $5.
Yeah,
that's all it costs you.
$5 for the codes.
If you
want to
feel like police officer Smith. It'll cost you.
Officer Smith.
If you want to feel like Agent Smith for a fucking second in your life, and you want to hey, listen.
Do you want to fucking come to Zion and party with Neo and Morpheus?
Exactly, because I'll tell you.
You want to be Agent Smith?
What do you want to do? Exactly.
What do you want to do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because if you're sat, well, here's where I imagine you are. You're probably kind of listening to this on your like, I don't know. I'd imagine you've probably got this already pressed vinyl. It's like a Lynn Sontec kind of situation. You're wiring in your own power to make sure you can, because we're back and we're recording this high fidelity.
Yeah.
You don't want to miss this. So we're probably like, I mean, I would assume, even though it's an MP3, psych, it's actually FLAC. So, I would assume that you're listening to this kind of either on FLAC or on your like Thorin's 160 or like a Lynn Sontec.
And quite frankly, no matter what you're listening on, we're not going to take any more FLAC
100%
from you.
Yeah. Because we can't afford
the
conversion software.
These people, they hold us to such a high regard that we do a couple pods with bad sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. They drop like flies. Well, I just want to say we're back bigger than ever, better than ever. We got power hooked up to this Zoom recorder.
It's unbelievable.
All I can assume that's like essentially running phantom power through a fucking U87.
I would assume that this has got more now, knowing how good these Zooms already sounded.
Yeah.
We're talking about kind of stepping up from a 1072 to a 1081.
Yeah, sure.
But, I imagine you guys are at home. You're probably like kind of listening to this. And, you got two things in your mind. One, which Joni kind of, expressly, made clear. Either you're kind of fantasizing but having me and Johnny chained to a kind of like, a really kind of a Geiger style like table.
Not sure where you're going here with this.
And you're dressed like Agent Smith and you're saying, give me the codes.
Okay, yeah.
And you're kind of like, if I could only do that, I could finally listen to the better episodes, which are the Patreon.
Well, and let me
Patreon
say
ones.
this. I don't know how many of you out there have actually seen The Matrix.
Yeah.
But it didn't end well for Agent Smith, okay?
Yeah.
What happened was Neo went out and fucking set everybody free, which is what we're trying to do.
100%.
And you can either get on board.
Love you out of it.
You can either get on board or you can just become another 1 and another 0.
Honestly, exactly.
In the fucking code.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What do you want to do?
Yeah. What do you want to do? You want to
live
play
a
blues
real
or
life?
you want to play mix?
Yeah, you want to live in a dream or you want to live in the real world?
Yeah, and in the real world, we're going to fucking Grateful Shred shows.
100%.
Yeah.
Come along.
Come along for the ride. It's there. We're merry pranksters.
Yeah.
You know who's driving? It used to be Ken Kesey. It's actually now Alex Bleeker.
Right.
And he's driving, and he's basically the new Ken Kesey. Actually, no, he's the new Dean Moriarty. I would say he's Dean Moriarty. That's who I meant.
He's a good driver, Dean Moriarty.
Yeah, exactly. So that's
hell of a good driver.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, that's who he is.
Yeah.
Neil
I'm going down Neil Cassidy. Yeah.
I would say that's Alex.
I'm telling you, I'm going down. No, he's way more of a, to me,
Ginsburg, I guess, but it's
no, that's a bit too easy, isn't it? Because he lives around there.
I mean, he's got Burroughs energy. I can imagine him shooting someone in the fucking face if they don't agree with him.
Shooting a spike into his arm, though.
100%.
Not his style.
More of a kind of surfer.
Yeah, he's more West Coast. Yeah. Burroughs is full on.
We got to get Sam on because Sam.
I'm dying to get him back.
Sam. Shout out Sam Vom Cruz. He was quite good friends with Carolyn Cassidy before she died.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's it's a great book, by the way. Off the Road.
Ooh, cool.
It's not on the road, you see.
But I'm dying to. I'm getting down. Basically, this is why I'm going down to LA to figure all this out. Bleeker,
someone needs to figure it
out. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of sort of webs that are entwined
Spider-Man.
right now, and I'm trying to just kind of piece them all together. I'm going down to kind of tie this whole Eyewall universe together.
Figure it out.
West Coast Eyewall universe together, because honestly, I'm not even joking right now.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but this Grateful Shred Taper's Choice show is
big.
because of us that this is happening.
Yeah, it's big.
Because Dan texted me and he said, we should get Bleeker's band to open.
Yeah.
Which I guess
don't mention that to Bleeker.
Bleeker's now
open.
They're not opening. They're headlining.
Yeah, exactly.
But so I feel I need to represent the podcast there. You know what I mean? So
well, I think so. As
and I
kind
would
of
assume
a Bruce
they'd give
Buffer kind of character.
I would assume they'd give us a shout out on stage. Thanks to Impossible Way of Life for kind
you would only
of
assume
setting the show up.
Yeah. It's time for us to be a little bit more American about this. And actually brings me
I'm feeling
back.
a kind of Jack White energy from us tonight where I'm like, you know what? I've had enough. And I think credit where credit is due.
Yeah. Honestly, as well, and it brings me back to the original point, that I'm pretty sure that jam bands, it's just blues, and one guy has figured out a major scale over the top of it.
Right.
And that's pretty much...
And that guy is Jerry Garcia.
Yes. And that guy is Jerry Garcia, and he figured out if you occasionally play a couple of major notes, just two more notes, you got your own kind of...
You get the rest of the band to just kind of solo.
Yeah, but only in blues.
Yeah, in blues. And then you do major stuff on the guitar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's what jam bands are.
I think so.
Well, I'm gonna ask them this backstage.
Yeah.
And we'll see if they have a response prepared. I assume that McCutcheon will.
Yeah.
Hey,
endurance.
Did we finish that?
Endurance.
Yeah, I need to finish
Endurance.
it. Endurance is low. He's lazy. 4.
He doesn't even use pedals.
Well, that's not lazy, actually.
Interesting, because no tuning.
Yeah.
He tunes for sure.
I don't think he has much. He doesn't release a ton of music.
Well, you don't know what he gets up to in his other shite
What
bands.
did McCartney get for endurance?
We should get high, surely. We've been really hard. It wasn't endurance when he did it. It was called like flexibility
Longevity
or some shit. I don't even know. It was like about yogic posing. We got to redo this all.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, Macca needs to be redone because we keep referencing him, but it's like a totally wrong.
I don't know. What does he get? Like fucking endurance? I don't know. Like 4
Jack
or
White?
something?
3? 4? 3. Fuck him. Add it up.
Trying, dude. Chill out.
If he gets
you know what worries me?
What?
Which is kind of maybe like speaks to his kind of like
He
legacy
gets me in this mood.
Yeah, you now are you've got kind of a
you know what it's
Flint,
from?
Michigan energy.
It's because I want to take him on in the Beatles challenge, and he won't accept my
It's
challenge.
weird that he doesn't respond to you.
Yeah, I've messaged so many times he will
It's
not
super
face
weird.
me.
Yeah, he knows because it's made
He knows
up.
he'll lose. It's all editing.
Dude,
It's all editing.
He's scored 47.
Good.
That's not even.
That's a fine score for him. Now we're getting into the real shit.
You know what? Actually, should
It's a good score for him.
You know what? Like
High, honestly. That's high for him.
We should like if we were kind of like if we controlled the media,
Yeah.
like he does.
Yeah.
That would be like, you see puff pieces in the papers that say like Jack White says the Stones always copied the Beatles. You'd be seeing articles in the papers that said Jack White scores a lowly 47 in the iWall ranking charts.
And
Johnny
refuses
Payne,
to challenge Johnny Payne
Yeah.
in a Beatles
1 second name that tune
Yeah.
sound off.
Yeah.
And then it'll be like kind of a clickbait thing. It'll be like, what Johnny Payne said about his score will shock you, and then it goes to you, and it's you saying like, I think it's a good score.
Yeah, I think it's a high. Actually, honestly, high. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Fantastic. How much time do we have
We've got
left?
like 10 minutes.
Oh, we should rank another one.
Joni.
Okay, Joni be fun.
Just like go, like have a nice time.
Let's just have a good time. Can I have a tiny bit of that beer?
You could, yeah, as much of it as you want.
There's none left.
I mean,
and
I'm testing. Take the whole thing.
No, what are you talking about? The whole
I don't know.
thing?
I don't know. Just,
No, I just want a sip of it so we can both rank.
yeah, I don't know. Take it. I don't know what the rules are. You're made of Teflon. I mean, there could be some residual.
I'm not worried about that.
I got some cool COVID too. I got like the new one. I got nausea and stuff. It's like new variant when I got it. The one in Ontario, it's new. It's not Omicron. It's like Omicron, it's like Omicron B15.
You're just like trying to get us freaked out right now that you got it still.
No, my God, no! I tested negative. It's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine. No, I'm Teflon James.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, Joni. She's gonna be really high.
Yep. Of course.
Hangability.
Seems so chill to me. Like, I'd love to hang out in a room with her and just
With the
chat
cats and shit.
Cats and yeah, 8.
We've not. Yeah, I guess Ringo's,
She parties too.
She
I know.
parties, and she
parties.
also like, and it depending on the cat, she also like is like down.
Say whatever you feel.
Well, these days she does, but like in her earlier years, she was kind of almost like the kind of alpha flaneur of the scene. You know, she kind of like would pick her partners. Everyone was in love with her, so assumably she's intoxicated. I guess the only check against her would be like probably not a good hang. She's probably very intimidating to other women. I would say, like, because she's like every man seemingly is in love with her at all times.
But in the same way that Bob Dylan's intimidating to every other man.
But it doesn't work both ways. It's the same, I don't think. But I think.
Yeah, if a woman is only interested in like hanging with men, it's a turn.
And that's something I think that's relevant because I don't know of her having, like, Joni is not famous for having female friends, which is, I would say, checks her down. You don't want to be friends with girls who don't have any female friends. It's a red flag. So 8's good.
Yeah.
8's good, I think.
I'm just saying, I'm basing my score on like every single photo I see is her like, you're right, only with men. But
I mean, it's a male-dominated
looking
world.
like a good hang, though. Like with Gordon Lightfoot and Leonard Cohen and...
Yeah, who she fucked. All, like... Which is fine.
Anyway.
For me.
I'm a man. I think she'd be a good hang.
I'm going to say 11. Sorry, 8. I mean 8. Let's go 8. Technical ability. It's not low.
No, it's not low. I love a lot of the stuff she does.
The jazzy stuff. She's like her like open tuning style,
and her like with the tunings and everything she did with the dulcimer and everything. She like really kind of opened up some new stuff.
She can play piano.
Very good. Yeah, she's good, and she's a very good singer.
Yeah, but like an 8, 7,
I think
or 8?
7.
Okay, let's just our boys here.
I think 7.
Because we're
like she can't just shred straight. Like she does what she does, but she's not going to step up and shred.
She can't shred.
No.
She's not going on stage.
She does her own
on
thing.
April
6 or 7 for me.
7.
Yeah.
6, 7. I just want to
6 maybe.
Johnny, Andrew, Casey, Johansson, Anna St. Louis, the whole squad. You gave her a 10
in technical ability.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not right.
No, sorry guys.
Right. But they were saying, which I think is interesting, I read one of those messages that said that they were talking about how songcraft is part of technical ability.
Yeah, and this is really complicated.
And
I love this idea.
I like that. I do like that.
In which case she goes to 10. But we're in beta still.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something that we need to embed into a different category.
Yeah.
Because where did Dylan...
Let's count that Dylan in did. Technical ability.
Let's see what Dylan did here. See, Dylan got a 4. So we're obviously thinking...
She's higher than him, though,
for sure.
To me.
But we're thinking that we're adding... Where's Songcraft in Dylan? We must have put it in somewhere.
Songcraft...
Natural or something?
I think Songcraft as... Well, no, technical ability, it's very interesting, this. We'll have to
might need to write it in.
Let's
Artistry. We might need to write
Let's stick to our rankings right now. Technical ability, Joni's a 6.
Yeah, okay.
It's a 6.
But they're not wrong because, yes, I agree.
Yeah, but Songcraft needs to be included somewhere. It's not natural ability. It's like a combo of natural ability and technical ability.
So it bumps them both up.
In a way, yes. Okay.
Stage
That's a good way to
presence.
Put it. I loved watching
Live
her play,
performance.
but not bad.
Like 7, 6.
That's high, I think.
6, 5.
5, I think. 5. Yeah. She's
natural ability.
Really high. She's just
like 10.
9.
Like who's better than her? I think we need to bump her up with technical and natural. I don't think we need. They've gone 10.
Natural abilities a 10.
So let's go. What about then we go like because they've gone 10-10, and I understand because we did this. This is tough because we did it with Smokey,
but
she's as good as Smokey, not at singing, but
at playing an instrument. Like Smokey rips on piano. Like he could sit in with the Funk Brothers, and play. Like, it's different. Like, what did John Lennon get? That's more Joni to me.
9?
Technical
5.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
natural, he got a 9.
Yeah.
So that makes more sense.
Exactly. Technical, she's more that style. What did Dylan get? 4?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. She's
ice
that
cold,
style.
Buddy. Ice cold. Yeah. Ice cold. See, Alex now is saying hangability goes down. It's because chicks, man. You know what I mean? You're looking at it like,
rank,
yeah.
When
got to
you
get
rank,
a third mic. You got to get a third mic in here.
So, no.
Okay.
Natural ability is
9.
a 10.
Okay, 9.
Lennon got a 9?
Lennon got a 9.
So she's 9.
The only person to get a 10 was Smokey and Dylan. I mean, we need other people involved.
No, I think that she's a 9 too.
I mean, she's like actually my favorite. She's bigger than Dylan for me, so I'm being real.
Give her a 10. Natural. I mean, Joni is the best. Like writer and all that. I'll give her a 10. Sure.
They've really I've got some theories on their score, their van score here that I'm not going to say out loud.
Okay.
Sex appeal.
I mean, I really think that she's sexy. Personally,
she fucks.
7 or 8 for me. Probably an 8. Honestly,
like in sex appeal being related to your ability to like be an artist, it would.
I just think her charisma
that bumps her up.
Yeah, her artistry and charisma.
How about
and
her teeth, though?
She's her
a bit toothy, though,
magnetism.
isn't she?
Well, I don't think of sex appeal as looks, personally.
No?
I incorporate looks more into fashion.
Like FKA twigs.
More into fashion.
Yeah.
Looks.
I mean, I think she's quite matronly. I've never thought of her as being sexy. I think of like Paul Rodgers as being sexy.
Well, 7 for me.
Like my like appreciation.
She's a beautiful woman.
She's a beautiful woman,
and she's sexy.
But I've never
her love songs and everything.
Well, of course, yeah. Well, we have I've never wanted to have sex with her. Yeah. What's wrong with being sexy? We'll go 7.
Maybe a 6. You're right.
Dylan got 8. Give her an 8.
Well, Dylan's sexier than Joni Mitchell to me. You heard it here.
Okay. Yeah, different looks and shit. Like, yeah,
he's sexy. I find him very sexy in the.
This
60s.
is tough for me because she is like my favorite. So I'm kind of like I'm about. I can't look at the.
Don't worry.
Innovation. Which no, I don't like this. They've got it in the wrong order. Legacy.
10.
Thank you. In every way, it's 10.
Yeah.
That she quit. She switched to jazz in the mid-70s, and then she just was like, I'm fine. I'm just going to...
Hero.
Yeah.
Complete hero.
Nothing to say there. She's one of the only 10s.
Yeah.
Fashion?
Actually, this one's going to hurt her a bit. Not great. Don't really remember, like, maybe 4.
Like, she never had... She
cool.
kind of followed the trends.
And I
never stood out.
I can't pinpoint a look.
No.
In my mind.
No.
That's a problem.
Well, the only one I can pinpoint is the kind of like weird, like late 70s double-breasted kind of Mingus look.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's strong.
Yeah. That's the only one I can pinpoint.
So maybe it gives her a 5.
Yeah, it's not lower than that. Other than that, she did like the kind of Clouds era, kind of Ladies of the Canyon.
Kafka
just kind of, she's kind of just like Candles in the Afternoon, bitch, kind of vibe. 5, I guess. That's tough. I feel bad about that.
It's not her strong suit.
Innovation?
9.
Just going to put it down there. What would you give Carole King out of interest in innovation?
Innovation, 10.
Because of Tin Pan Alley.
Yeah. Changed the face of music.
Yeah.
Wrote all the girl group hits.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. We should do Carole.
Yeah.
Kind of the ashram, swami kind of girls. Ladies of the Canyon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Business acumen?
Yeah, I feel like she did okay, but like... I mean, and obviously, like we said with Stevie, you have to take into account that it is difficult for a woman at that time. Yeah, she's also.
I own a painting of hers. Bought one time.
So like you can't really judge.
Because
she was reliant on male managers and people.
Well, no, she was tight with Geffen though. It's all good. Like. Yeah. As much as anyone,
I think she did pretty well. I think
that here's what I would say about her business acumen.
Yeah.
And this probably ties into other stuff, that she pivoted career-wise several times. Like, she was always ahead of everyone. And I think this is like why innovations tend to, but I think it comes into business acumen. Like, she didn't get stuck in the mud of hippie bullshit. She like switched it up to AM, like Court and Spark.
Good point.
And then she switched out again with Hissing of Summer Lawns and Hajira. And she switched out again when it got to Mingus and stuff. Like she was moving. She moved through
And
the
you're
70s.
saying those were
she
both...
hung around with Matheny. She hung around with Jacko.
You're saying those are both creative and business decisions.
I think probably, yeah.
Interesting.
You know?
I like that.
Yeah. I'd say she did. And then she
7?
pieced out.
But that's a low for business acumen.
In terms of like
Because you got to keep
hustle.
you got to keep hustling.
Yeah.
like Maca style, you never let up.
Yeah, you can't because you got nothing else you can do.
So this is 6 or 7.
And endurance has to be like 5.
Yeah, she really, really took it. 90s, nothing happened really.
Well, she's not anthology. She's not made
5.
any music.
Yeah, 5. Yeah.
And your life becomes a travelogue. You know what? Like,
But if we were doing straight up songwriting, she's top. She's top.
She's
3.
up there. It's her
She's
and
top
Dylan.
3.
It's her and Dylan.
Yeah. No doubt. Let that be known, everyone.
Okay, let's top this up here. I don't like this. 72.
It's a great score.
Below Neil, though, she should be higher than Neil. She should be higher than Neil. They're getting.
I don't know if she
now
should be higher.
She should
than
be higher
Neil
than
with
Neil.
these categories.
We should
Fashion Neil takes her out.
just because of Tonight's the Night.
A lot of his stuff.
Grunge. She should be the same as Neil Young if this works.
Well, how many points is she
2
on?
more.
Well, we're damn close, dude. Give ourselves a little
He's
credit.
higher than McCartney.
Yeah, I'm aware, but we know business acumen was not a category.
We
It's a
gotta
10.
redo. Yeah,
It's a 10 for business
Endurance 10 too.
10 both.
Yeah, so look if you
He
look
might
at
be
this-
the highest.
Yeah, I know, because he's got a 7 and a 6 for those last 2.
No, those are
Yeah,
10s.
Yeah, I know.
Endurance and business acumen
Yeah.
both 10.
He's basically 92.
Yeah.
He's the Silver Surfer.
He might be the top.
He's Silver
He
Surfer.
might be the top.
All right, well, we're good. Everyone listen on Sunday. Subscribe to our Patreon.
And then
Even if
unsubscribe
you-
right away when you get the code.
100%. Okay.
Yeah.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.